most popular is the J43, and then we sell a lot of dreadnoughts, the D37 with the herringbone and the OM37 with the herringbone.
Right.
So they're both very popular, and I think if you took most sort of the sort of pre-war style makers, Collings and Santa Cruz, they'd all probably say the same thing. That there's the usual suspects just pop up time and time again.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's ever going to get tired of hearing a great J45 shaped guitar or a dreadnought. You know, a herringbone dreadnought that really sings is on everyone's bucket list, isn't it? So it's
absolutely.
And we've started doing some our sort of pre-war style one with a V-neck and they've got Adirondack tops, and we use Madagascan rosewood on the back and sides of that.
Yeah,
we've done those in triple O, OM, and dreadnought, and then we also do our essential series, which is spruce and or usually Sitka and African mahogany.
Right.
But on these we're doing Adirondack and Honduran mahogany, and with again a V-neck. All the bracing has been baked, and you know those things. Do you like a V-neck?
It depends on the neck. Because they're V-necks and then they're V-necks, right? Like, I'm actually quite okay with a slight V. I once played a 35 Martin with a V up the top, up on the fingerboard, and then as you came down on the higher notes, it transitioned to more of a smooth sort of a D, sort of a fat D shape. And I thought that was quite nice. But I find like neck shapes are just, it's so individual. Like what works for one person absolutely is abhorrent to somebody else, right? Like
it can be. I think there's something about just sitting with the guitar for a while and trying, not judging it too quickly. You can pick something up and go, ooh, not sure about that. But actually, if you sit with it for 20 minutes and just let it settle in, and you start to feel the nice parts of having a V-neck and or any necks, they can usually find something that I like about it. But we don't make anything we don't like. But I think that the V-neck is something that perhaps is a bit more of a quiet taste than the standard sort of DC profile, which we put on most of our guitars. I'll show you something else that we've made, which is cool. So did you see these?
Yeah, I remember these. There you go.
So we around about February time, we were sorry, I don't know what's going on with my phone, but everything keeps coming in at once.
No worries.
Around about February time, we were like thinking, we started talking about where have all the Charvel and Jacksons gone, and when 25 years ago, when I started, you didn't see that many of them either. But when I was a kid, everyone had one. It was the most. Everyone had a Floyd Rose and a pointy headstock. And it's like everyone's so embarrassed they've hidden them under their beds or something.
No, I think it's the Floyd Rose. it's the I need it adjusted, and they've gone to repairman who's just go, no, I'm not doing the Floyd Rose. No.
Give it a rest. So we thought, right, what would be really fun is to make a couple of these electrics and just go proper 80s on them. So this is the 85.
Right.
And,
there we go.
Because we choose eras,
Yeah.
But so yeah, this is our first foray. Well, I mean, I've made electric guitars years ago, but this is our first foray into electric guitar making, and it's been really weird how many people have been asking for them. We haven't put it into production yet, but we might do.
Right.
We've also got a couple of ideas for some more sort of telly style guitars, but at this point in time, we're just trying to enjoy ourselves. We only make things that make us smile, you know.
Yeah.
So
that's the way to do it. I have to say, maybe I can natter on a little bit, but every time my mate comes to me and says, "Oh, I'm thinking about buying this guitar, and it looks like it's got a Floyd Rose in," and I usually trot out the phrase of, "Those who do not learn about the mistakes from history are bound to repeat them." And they go, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Oh, trust me, with the Floyd Rose, I mean, it's a decent kit, but it's I don't know. I have an irrational hatred for it, or an irrational, or at least dislike. Maybe hatred is too strong a term, but if I can avoid it, I'd avoid it."
How old are you, Terence?
I'm 41.
All right, you're old enough to remember the era.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't be seen dead with one for quite a while, and now we plugged them in. And Lawrence here, there's a really good video I'll send you, and you can put a link on it. But he started playing properly, you know. He can do all the Eddie Van Halen kind of stuff, and it was instantly big smile. Everyone in the building was like, it's so good to hear, you know, and hadn't been in that world for a while. So kind of there's so many 80s rehashes going on at the moment with, you know, Stranger Things and Cobra Kai on Netflix. And I think our generation is claiming our sort of childhood back. So
well, the crazy thing is, the other day my friend said, "Have you seen the new Take On Me video?" And I'm like, "Oh, they've done another one. Like, everybody's doing one now." I went, and it's crazy. It's so Weezer did the cover, and I'm thinking, okay, Weezer, good band, you know, Rivers is, you know, it's got the chops, but the band that is shown is actually the actor from Stranger Things. So I think it's Finn Wolfhard's band, and they've done it in that 80s style. So it switches between the real life and the rotoscope style. It's brilliant, and they've got everything there. They've got sort of the what was it? I think the lead guitarist was on one of those Casio MIDI guitars, which are impossible to play properly. They got the old VHS recorder and stuff. It was lovely.
Oh yeah.
It was
those brilliant. Casio. Was the Casio the one that was like, it wasn't a proper guitar, it was more like a piece of plastic? That's
the one. I mean, it had frets, but you didn't have the feel of it. It's a MIDI kind of instrument. So I played one of those, and I'm like, no. I was like, no, this is,
the strings are all weird, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not even proper strings. They're like, it's
elastic bands.
It's
like one of the kids' guitars. But no, it's that's a great era though. You know, but I was listening to Simple Minds yesterday,
right.
And I remember that now which guitar was it? A Casio that he used, or a I can't remember what it was. A black guitar that a lot of people had, and it had a MIDI sort of thing down here with an LED.
Yeah, I think that's it sounds like a Casio. It could be a Roland, but I think it's a Casio.
No, I think it might have been the Roland.
Okay.
Yeah. And recently I've been doing this podcast, and I interviewed the guitarist of Meridian, and he was talking about that guitar as well. And it just strikes me there's kind of a nice era. If you remember that music fondly, it's quite nice to delve back into that world. Anyway, so they're not acoustic guitars, but they're
great
they're
to
crazy
see.
Kind of
great to see.
Nice thing to change of direction.
Yeah, absolutely, brilliant. Well, I think time's getting on a little bit, so with that, thank you very much for sharing your lovely instruments with us. Thanks for having the chat, and hope to catch up soon.
Yeah, you too, Terence. Always nice to see you. I hope I didn't waffle on too much.
No, I waffle all the time. Probably I have to apologize to you. So thank you for your patience.
Okay.
We'll catch up soon. Cheers.
Cheers
Thanks.
now.
Thanks. Bye-bye.